We live and we got no intro because that's how we roll. Actually, no, we got the intro, but I'm Ricky Van, and
Yeah.
I fuck up sometimes.
I know now that my wife has become host to a Kandarian demon. I fear that the only way to stop those possessed by the spirits of the book is through the act of bodily dismemberment.
It's truly frightening.
This is
It's your home.
Oh man, I got this. Big love for me too, man. Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, it's good. I'm like all frozen there. So yes, it wouldn't be our show. Somewhere along the line, something, one of us showing up late. Sorry, that was me today. But welcome. It's Thursday night. It means Thursday night football right after we're done, for me at least. But for tonight, it is not the actual Thursday night football, but we are covering football. Before we get into the movie, if this is your first time watching us, let's make a go around so I can introduce you guys to my brothers. First up, JR the villain. How you doing?
Listen, I gotta say it now because we're facing the Eagles this weekend, but go Bucks 3-0. Thought we're gonna beat the Eagles, but maybe there won't be as many fumbles as this movie.
Ooh. All right, and Rick, Mother Beer Brothers. Salute. How you doing?
So what up? What up? Doing good. Ready to dive into another episode of Three Corners of Horror, and I want to hear what you got to say, Joe the psychologist, because you got that Patriot shirt, son. How y'all doing
man.
over there?
I think we're 1-2 right now. I think we're 1-2. That's all right. It's the beginning, and
Splendid. Yeah. That's
I mean, we're not gonna be there just yet, but that's okay. I'm still a Pats fan no matter what. But before we get into the movie, obviously, we're coming to the end of the year, so there's gonna be some more movies that we're gonna be covering. I was curious if you guys saw that Paramount is releasing the movie from the guy who did The Dark and the Wicked, and Brian Bertino. He also did The Strangers. Somebody help me out. I should have had this down.
Yeah, I'm not sure where
you
you're
bring
going.
us some news and you don't got the information.
I know, because I figured it's what. Hold on, but
we live, pal. Hold on.
Remember, while you're looking that up, I was mentioning one thing.
Yeah, go ahead, GR. Yeah.
October 14 and 16, Trick or Treat is actually going to be in the movie theaters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're gonna bring back the
Remastered 4K, dude.
the Doherty film. Yeah.
Yeah, I might go see it, man. I never watched it in the theater. Now,
What's up with
Come
that
on.
movie getting all this like weird hate discourse all over social media recently? Not recently, but last couple year or two, I've noticed that. What's going on?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Sam's a great character. The fact that they haven't had a sequel to him, I think, kind of pisses off fans. Because here you have a Halloween character, my boy right there, sitting in the corner, pissed off because he ain't getting no love during Halloween. Listen, Michael Myers is dead. That fucker killed him when he did the 3 trilogies, along with Danny McBride. Fuck you, Danny. But yeah, so we need a new character for
I love how
Halloween.
there's so many people involved in that film, and JR always calls out Danny McBride. I love that rivalry.
That's because he messed up one of our other movies But
I love Danny McBride. I was actually watching Tropic Thunder yesterday. It's just such a great movie, man.
Classic, man. You can never make that again.
No.
And that wasn't even that long ago.
You heard a rumor about that one?
No.
That Tom Cruise wants to come back as Les Grossman in his own
yeah?
solo film. Come on,
I
bring
don't
up
know
Les
about that.
Grossman. man.
I don't want to see
Nah,
that.
Les Grossman's
Yeah.
cool, man.
But so the guy we're talking about is Brian Bertino. He's the one that did the original Strangers, and he was involved with the Strangers Chapter 1. But he also did The Dark and the Wicked.
Great film.
Yeah, so he has a new one, Vicious, that is gonna star Dakota Fanning, Catherine Hunter, Mary McCormack, and it's not gonna be released in the theater. It's gonna be coming to Paramount Plus. So I figured because we both, he did The Strangers, and The Dark and the Wicked was awesome. So just let you guys know that his new one is gonna be coming to Paramount. So it's not on our schedule, but we're fans of the guy, so I figured to let you know, and maybe you guys know. I should have had that ready for y'all.
Nah, it's
That
okay
was-
to be spontaneous.
Yeah, I know. I got to ask y'all something though before we get into the movie, because this is now I feel like another subgenre that they're probably looking to get into. I mean, without having to get into this film yet, would you guys be open more towards more horror films based on sports?
I was actually going to ask you that at the end of our thing, so it's all right. We can do it now.
Let's
No.
do it now. Let's do it now.
Yeah. Go ahead, Rick.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's a interesting marriage of concepts. Definitely, the genres don't mix, but that's what makes it interesting. So I would like to see it. I would like to see it more. I mean, what besides this one, I can't really honestly recall one off the top of my head that was a sports influenced horror film. And I don't mean like movies like The Faculty where it's a football team. I mean like an
That's literally popped into my head.
sports-based
It was,
film,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know of any other one. And same thing. I mean, I remember when we were discussing movies we were looking forward to, this was one of them that I told you guys. Once I found out it's not Jordan's, now I'm feeling a little like.
I told you that.
I know. I was feeling a little trepidatious. I think I said it right. I would like to see more. The thing is, it's how you're going to be able to broaden it because, you know, obviously once we get into him with as far as the aspects of the horror in that one, you know, you're going to have to try something different that doesn't involve, you know, a cabal or something like that. So, or, you know, obviously body where, oh, what are you willing to do your own body? Because it's kind of, this one kind of had both those in there. So now whoever's going to do one is going to have to figure out just something a little more differently. I mean, listen, hello, Patriots. I mean, of course, I love sports. So to see something in sports, I mean, can you imagine something in wrestling? Like you guys
they
are
have
big
a wrestling.
They have one already,
there's
one.
wrestling. Dark
Oh.
match.
Dark match.
Yeah.
Well, see, well, there you go. You guys they couldn't remember
if you,
one.
If you want to see Chris Jericho as an obnoxious, over-the-top villain, watch
Playing
Dark
himself,
Match.
basically.
And my boy, Simon Ogg is it? Not Simon. Jesus Christ. What Ogg? Stephen Ogg. He plays Simon in Walking Dead. He's in a good. It's a fun-ass movie, man.
We'll see. So, I mean, you can have, and it was probably produced by, what do you call it?
Super low budget, over the top, but it's a great time. It's not meant to be taken seriously. So wrestling does, and there's another zombie film, horror film, Zombies, but definitely not at the same quality as Dark Match. But it's still fun. I forgot the name of it though. It's about a zombie apocalypse breaks out during a independent wrestling show. So I forgot the name of that, but check it out. Google it. It's not hard to find. It's if you like schlock, check it out. Check it out.
All right. So with that, we'll go ahead again to our review and talking football. And everybody who starts out young, eventually they want to be the star of their team. They want to be the one that everyone wants to talk about. They want to be the one with all the rings. They want to be him. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. It's directed by Justin Tipping. 3 people wrote, so I have to read them all. Zach Ackers, Skip Bronke, and Justin Tipping. And it stars Marlon Wayans as, Isaiah, Tyriq Withers as Cam, Julia Fox as Elsie. Again, it's a movie about becoming him. And I'm going to go last on this one because, again, this was the one on my list that I was looking forward to until I said, uh-oh. But actually, I'm going to go to Rick first on this one.
All right. Well, what can I say? Obviously, I'm a baseball fan. I'm not really a football fan. I only watch football during like the Super Bowl, and that's pretty much where my knowledge of football goes. I mean, obviously, I know the basics, but this movie, honestly, what I would say about it is, it felt hollow to me in a sense, because the concept is really good in this film, and when we talked about this during our, what movies we are looking forward to, I said that it's going to be interesting to revolve a horror film around football, and my biggest complaint was in this movie, it didn't really feel like it revolved around football at all. It was mainly about one character. He's a star quarterback. He goes to the combine, and you don't really see any other players, like none of his rivals or younger players attempting to go through this. They're in the background and stuff, but it's only focusing on this one character. And then there's gonna be spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen it yet, this is your warning. But
we might save you.
Yeah. So something happens. He gets taken out, and he doesn't get to compete. And then he gets an invite to go train with the GOAT himself, his idol, the guy who he grew up watching. And it just immediately goes into this guy's training camp. And again, this guy, Cam, did not pick up on any of these red flags, like whatsoever. Like their training procedure was so egregious and horrifying, and then it's like normal. It's like, I mean, he was a little suspicious, but I guess this is how it is. I wouldn't take it like that. But I mean, the film just to me felt depressing. I don't know if it was the color palette. It's the main character. I will say he was likable and he's a pretty good actor, but in this role, he just felt like he was a charisma vacuum to me, man. I don't know what it was. He was so devoid of anything interesting, and the fact that the best character was Marlon Wayans here. His portrayal of this villain character, and what I liked is his biggest flaw is something so many of us struggle with and have, at least at one point, insecurities. You know, Joe mentioned it. They got the young up and coming guy, the next GOAT, the next him, coming to take his spot. So I love this dynamic when he shows a little bit of his humanity, but then he goes right into this over the top like guy screaming in this guy's face. At one point they got this weird, I don't know what it was. It was like this it was a ritual. That's what it looked like, but it was kind of just throwing a football into this guy's face until Cam was able to make an actual, like, you know, what is it? You guys know the term, when he threw the ball to the guy, the receiver.
The guy can catch it.
Yeah. So
yeah, he kept overthrowing and overshooting.
And this guy's like, dude, I mean, he's like, this guy's getting fucked up, and this guy's telling him to ignore him and just keep going. And then after that, this guy's like, oh shit. But then the next scene, him and, you know, Wayans, they're fucking buddy again. Like nothing. They're at a song having a conversation about life, and it's like, bro, this dude just fucked up this other guy. I don't know what's this. I was just like, okay. But one of my favorite scenes, because I don't want to be all negative, because I did not hate the film. I did not. But I love the scene, and when they're at the shooting range. And you see Marlon Wayans' character. What's his first name? Isaiah White.
Zay. Call me Zay.
Zay. There you go. So when they're at the shooting range again, I don't know, weird fucking training once again. And he's shooting like, you know, a bunch of mannequins wearing his jersey and shit. But there's blood in those jerseys. I don't know. This guy's a star athlete. He must have bad eyesight. Probably you didn't see any of that shit. But I love when he brought up that one dummy, in which you thought it was a dummy, and then you notice it's very subtle. You see it breathing right before it gets shot, and then it slumps over, and then it cuts to the next scene. It's abrupt, but I like that because it was like, wait a minute, who was that? But then the other side to that, you got this weird cult that's right outside this facility. This lady, I don't know how she got in. She creeps from underneath the sauna, or whatever, you know, the what is it, the heat room?
Yeah, the
it's like a sauna essentially. I was like, wait a minute, is this a nightmare? Is this a dream? You know? And then all of a sudden, Cam thinks he kills her, but no, he didn't. And then, you know, Zay comes in and fucking just throws her against the fucking wall, blood splatters, and other two weirdos show. I'm like, what is going on here? How does Cam think this is normal? Again, the next scene after that, everything's cool. They're buddy. Like, bro, what is happening? I don't know. But it was just, this movie had too many, like, long periods of, like, nothing happening. I was a little bored for a good stretch of it. And Zay's wife, dude, red flags, Jesus Christ. Like, what? Why does she look so weird and no one's questioning this?
Thank you.
And
I'm gonna mention that
she
too.
was gonna be the big villain in this, because when Cam first walks in, you see the two portraits. One is Zay and one of his wife. The only focus on her portrait when he looked at it, and you know, you guys already know Chekhov's gun. That they do that for a reason. That's gonna come back into play. So I don't know. And then Cam's family was in it, and then they're gone. They're completely gone from the story whatsoever. You thought they'll play like a bigger role, you know. And speaking of his family, I love the intro of this film though. When he's a kid and his dad is like riling him up, and he's like, "Who are you? I'm him." You know, I love that when there it is. They said the title, you know. it was just cool, and I love. Then they show him when he's older and he's training, you know. But then we skipped so much. I wanted to see more. Okay, like how did he get to this point? Because he's already, people recognize him obviously. So I don't know. The movie had a lot of that. I mean, the slaughter at the end was great. Then it just ends. Like, all right, I want to see what's the ramifications of this. This guy slaughtered the entire owners of this fucking team, and no one's gonna notice that. I mean, he left all these other the other cult members.
Cheerleaders. He left the cheerleaders.
The cheerleaders all just sat there and watched.
He left them. So I mean, what is happening? I don't know, man. I think it was a big fucking mess all around. But there is a movie to enjoy here because it is so unique. That's what I would say about this movie. It just felt hollow to me though because the football aspect of it to me, you guys might comment on this more. It just wasn't there. It was there as an idea, but not in its execution. It's just all we saw was these like slimy old guys, the owners and shit. All these teams are all they're all corrupt for the most part.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the movie is a solid film, but I think it could have been so much more. And again, the main character, I know he wasn't. I still know what you did last summer. Is that what? No, I know what you did last summer. Right?
Yeah. I know what you did.
Title. So I know he's capable of more, but his Cam character was just again, he just didn't do it for me, unfortunately, and that's a big part of the movie. But Wayans, he did fantastic. I mean, he told the line from realistic and human and like he was intriguing, mysterious. But then you think the movie's going one way, but then it just goes into the typical, oh, this is what it is. And Joe, you criticized Weapons for that too. I remember, it's just a witch story. And this kind of, I felt the same way you felt in that. Like that's, oh man, anyone could have guessed. I thought they would go more like, oh shit, like Zay's an alien, what, or something. I don't know, but. Overall, I was a little disappointed in it. I just felt bored, to be quite honest with you.
All right. Well, before I go to JR, I'll click on them so that way you can read them.
Well, yeah, there's some in it. Vet them first, though.
I am. Go ahead. Start reading. I said I'm going to click on them.
Oh, the Beer Brothers. Hey, Selena. How are you? I could click on them if you're not going to be paying attention, bro.
I am going to be paying attention.
Adam M. Good Thursday evening, all. I don't want to be harsh, but... this was slow, and the scant amount of eye candy didn't help me through my boredom. I had higher expectations of the eye candy. The scene with when he was invited, and once again, this guy's moping around, and there's all these there's a party going on over here. Bro, mingle a little bit. Then he goes there, immediately gets fucking drunk. And this guy, he wakes up to the guy with a gun to his head, bro. And again, the next scene, they're cool.
Did you fuck her?
My wife. Yeah.
Did you fuck my wife?
Yeah, then it was like, bro, he's like, I'm taken. Oh, damn. Then if you're going to be in this business, you can't care for nobody. Imagine being told that. Would you guys pursue that?
But I would say that's kind of what you already should know that. I mean, it's literally, if you're going for a career that's going to bring you fame, if you're going in married, sometimes some of those don't make it. So it usually is the marriages that happen like once they get famous or while they're starting to get famous. But I mean, when it comes to sports and relationships, look at how many exes there are as far as, you're going
sports. With good intentions, but when you're around that lifestyle and you've seen the lifestyle right there, and they throw themselves to you. So sometimes you could try your hardest. And it's like you get drunk. There's alcohol,
you might be a little too drunk one night, and you're like, wake up the next morning, and you look around, and you're like, uh-oh.
The coolest guy was the trader. What was it? The medical guy. The guy who got
I love him. That's Jim Jeffries.
He's
a comedian. He's an Australian comedian.
Yeah. And then what happens after? Then he's like, well. I told him, and then next time you see him, he's beheaded. Hey, P. Rockzilla, what up, son? Rick, watching a sports-based movie is weird. Yeah, it is weird.
It is weird. I picked it, that's why.
Oh, I agree. Selena V. And LOL. All right.
All right, Jared.
All right, so this is the problem with the film. The main problem with the film is you have a film about a goat who's grooming basically his replacement, who the replacement is under the shadow of the goat, which is ironic because the actor was in the shadow of Marlon Wayans' performance throughout the whole film. So that's why we had a problem connecting with the character, because Marlon Wayans was just killing it to the point that you had there was nothing to feel about this kid. This kid was just a hollow athlete. And that's the problem with the film. We're supposed to care for this kid for what he went through. And the fact that, when we finally get the story that he quit football and then his dad died months later, I mean, that was just it was bad. It was a terrible reasoning for that too. So it felt like
no glory.
Yeah, I mean, his dad wanted him to be tough the whole time. You think his dad wanted him to just complain and whine about stuff? No, but there was too many things that I didn't like in this film, and it's unfortunate because the concept's good, but ambiguity once again hits in this film because we get very subtle reasoning. I didn't buy that whole shit with the Indian and the Indians doing this, and then when it felt like so dumb as far as a storyline.
Was that real, by the way? Is that how football was
I
created?
don't know.
Oh.
That's a problem. And they made up.
They became mascots. I don't know. I liked that line though. He's like, what happened?
Yeah, but
They
it's one
became
of
the
those things
mascots.
where like it didn't feel authentic at all, and we all knew going into the movie it was about what would it take to sell your soul for to become the greatest, and that was the whole point of the film. And for us to get that at the end, it just felt so flat because that whole scene turned so comedic, which is not. I mean, this dude just killed his icon, the person that he looked up to, goes there, and the whole thing turns comedic. And I'm sitting here thinking, all right, dude, you killed Isaiah, which I don't know how they're gonna say he disappeared and shit. My guess is they were like, yo, suicide note because
he
kid
killed
coming
like
up,
20
he got
people, it felt
drafted.
like.
Yeah, the pressure, dude committed suicide,
Killed
right?
The owner, his wife. Killed his wife.
Yeah, this dude did mass
She
murder.
killed her son.
Now, does he still expect to get drafted after committing mass murder? It just that, and I feel like that whole ending was just for the shock value of the film because they needed the shock value of the film because they dragged us throughout this whole film. And I'll be honest, when I first saw like bits of the trailer, I thought we were gonna get actually in-game action, like we were gonna jump into that.
That's what I was. Thank you. That's my point. I thought we were gonna dive into that. Yep, you're
And
right.
we should have.
Mhm.
I mean, we should have gone in-game action. We should have. This movie should have started with him. The incident happened, him getting recruited. Recruited, signed to the team, and then when we get the whole thing during the end season, where you have Isaiah basically still grooming him, you could still bring in that whole thing on how he's testing him to see if he could take a spot. So it would have been a little bit more authentic as far as the reasoning and what's behind the whole thing. But the fact that it felt so flat, I mean, the character, I didn't like him at all, man. And the dude gets his head busted, his skull cracked. They put staples on him. Listen, I'm sorry. No team's gonna draft you. They're gonna wait for you to fully recover from that injury.
Yep.
So you're basically sitting out for a year. You're not gonna get signed. You're not gonna be
lucky for a year.
Yeah,
lucky for a year.
Signed. So this whole thing where that even felt fake. So if you're a football guy, that's bullshit. They're not gonna take a chance, and that's like imagine the Yankees. They're trying to draft a kid who basically suffers 2 torn ACLs on both knees. They're not going to draft him. They're going to wait until he recovers and see, and they're just going to sign him. But it's just a lot of things felt in this movie that it just didn't feel like real. I mean, I know we're supposed to suspend belief, but when you're doing a sports film, you better get as authentic as possible because majority of people watching the films are sport fans. And that's your target audience. And for you to pull this movie off, it's just it sucked, man. And I was so pissed off. I'm sitting there like, Marlon Wayans is carrying this fucking movie, and everybody else just felt like they were like so below the performance he was giving. I mean, them dudes in the combine, that machine, Rick, they use that for the receivers. So the receivers,
it's a real machine,
and they basically have to quick speed to catch them. The hell,
Muted. You're much further away. You're not so close when that ball.
Sometimes you're close though, so you keep going back.
But
the whole thing is like you see how quick your reaction is when you have a ball coming because that.
But you're not face close.
No, you're not. He
wasn't even trying to catch it. He was literally.
No, that was his puncher, and he goes, yeah. He goes,
his face was catching it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things in this movie that I felt like they could have did better with. I almost feel like honestly, they should have just scrapped the whole thing and did it from Marlon Wayne's standpoint. Show what he had to go through because that injury, that was like a Joe Theismann injury. If you don't know Joe Theismann injury, he got hit and his basically bone came out of his leg. So the fact that they showed that, I felt like the movie should have been more about Marlon Wayans and showing what he sacrificed. And then you could have had basically him win another title, and then here you got this rumblings of he's going to get replaced. I mean, basically more of the fact that look, I sacrificed my soul, and you fuckers are gonna try to replace me anyways. So I think if it would have been more Marlon Wayne's story, I think it would have came out a lot better. But fortunately, this dude was so flat, and he had no emotional. There was nothing about him that you're like, should I even care if this dude succeeds?
That's why I called him a charisma backing.
Yeah.
That
was a great one, by the way. I didn't want to interrupt your flow, but that charisma vacuum, I'm like, ooh, I like that one.
All I kept thinking about was like, because Michael Vick, football reference, Michael Vick was supposed to be one of the great quarterbacks coming out of college, and unfortunately he wasn't, but he was supposed to be one of the great ones. So it was almost like a Michael Vick trying to pass on to Patrick Mahomes. This dude still reminds me of Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry.
I mean, and that's what they were going for. If you
I
know.
think that's what they were.
Oh yeah, no, that was totally that was totally.
Would it have been better if they would have had a selection of young athletes to run a gauntlet?
I will.
Whoever,
Well,
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
No. It like literally because actually, Jr.
Because the reason why I mentioned
watch-
that before I finish is because they didn't explain why they picked this dude.
Because the quarterback is the one position that is always in every draft.
I mean, there's no other quarterbacks that are going for it.
Fortunately, there's always that one that everybody is like, he's a guaranteed first
Yeah.
selection no matter
Yeah, that
what.
makes sense. Yeah.
So he was the guy, and the thing about it too is when you watch it, if you're not like an avid like football guy, you're not knowing that this guy's actually played for a college team, and then he's ready
You
to
wouldn't
go
know.
pro.
Did he have a team? Did he show it?
They didn't really
They
show that.
didn't show it. They didn't show
The
it.
whole time you're thinking he played for a high school team.
Because he would have been already. Yes. Yeah. Because
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
he was already popular within his town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, JR, are you good or I didn't want to interrupt you? All right. Well, holy shit, I was disappointed in this movie. I'm gonna start with that first. I look at the nuances now. I'm starting to get so much better at it. And unfortunately, one of the other scenes that I did like was when the ball was spinning, though it did give me the shoe standing up straight and nope. So it was like a Jordan Peele little homage thrown in there with the
It's
ball
like
spinning.
Jordan Peele all over, like little glimpses
Yeah.
of his style of film.
Yes. So when the person showed up behind and hit him, I'm like, all right. So it was Isaiah trying to take him out to make sure that this person doesn't take his spot. So then it turned, again, spoilers. It turns out, yes, it was planned by the owners. It was a way to be able to get him to come in. So then it was just throwing me off because you were getting glimpses of Cam getting the blood from Zay. And then you would see a body, like the I don't know what if the 3D or the X-ray images of a body.
Oh, dude, I hated that.
Regenerating.
That shit was
So then,
terrible.
well, so that's when I was like, all right, so
I forgot about all that.
I
Mortal
now
Kombat.
okay. I was like, so I think I got to figure. So what's happening is because first of all, Zay was a 8-time Super Bowl champion here. So I was like, oh, so I get it. So every time a new up and comer shows up, it's basically they get brought in here. So he's sucking out the young guy's essence. And when he made the bet with him, he said, I'll give you anything. If I win, I get your youth.
I thought that's where the movie was heading.
So I thought, okay, now I see what's going on here. Is that the reason that Zay has been so good this whole time is because they've been taking the young ones. You basically, no, I know that's not what happened. That's what I'm trying to say. As I'm watching the movie, no, I'm saying as I'm watching the movie, that's what I thought. And then that's not what it was. So the movie, the ideas that they had were so all over the place that there was like no focus as far as leading you to the fact that it's a cabal. It's these people are, I guess you make it's the literal sense of, making a deal with the devil. But I'm like, well, okay, so it's not that Isaiah is basically they sacrifice the young guys and he gets to stay young, impervious, keeps winning his Super Bowl. Because in my head, I was like, all right, 8 Super Bowl, that means 8 other quarterbacks died before Cam. No, that wasn't the case either. And Julia Fox, the minute she showed up with the eyebrows, which they made a little comment on the
I
eyebrows.
hate that.
No, that would I would have like, no, something's wrong here.
Well, I
Like,
hope
yeah,
that's not a trend now. Please no.
like, well, no, I don't think it is.
Was she involved with Kanye West at one point? That actress.
No,
I
that's
think that
somebody
is a
else.
trend because then you see Jenna Ortega missing her eyebrows too. Like, a lot of
yeah,
these
she
actors
did.
are doing that shit.
I know, not my Jenny. No.
But
no.
you know, then I mean, the movie, it's about football. It is about. I mean, it was toxic masculinity at
What the
its
fuck? Say
finest.
that again, City.
Toxic masculinity. I know I flubbed it towards the end there, but
Sorry, Joe. You don't gotta pick on me, Joe.
it was man. I again, when I thought it was going to be a Jordan Peele, I was all for it. When I figured out that he's just a producer, and then Rick, you had said, well, it's Monkey Paw. He's not
Yeah.
going to put his. And I'm sitting there going, holy fuck, he put his name on this.
Yes, he
Like,
did,
how
man.
did Jordan watch this and go, let's go ahead and put this, because the football part, then you get the 3D of the concussion, because that's a huge thing in football, is that a lot of these players suffer these. You can't do head to head. And they're even more like critical now on how you hit another player.
Yeah.
To get your fouls. Like, it's
Concussion protocol now is
yes,
way
it's
more advanced. Than it
but
was
when
before.
okay, so then what is going? I couldn't figure out what was going on. Like, and then I knew that they were involved in it when they try to give him the big reveal. And yes, I agree with you guys. The fucking guy committed mass murder. Like, how the fuck are you gonna get away with this? There's no, like, you're gonna let him know, well, these people were trying to get me to sign this deal. Okay, where's this paperwork? Like, dude, you just slaughtered all these people, including Zay. Like, the guy was going into jail after this. There's no happy ending for him in here. And I wasn't a fan of Tyriq in I Know You Did Last Summer. Marlon Wayans definitely was the best part of the movie. Like, as the movie as a whole, was not a fan. Marlon Wayans, he carried the movie. JR, you're right. And you could not care less for Cam because you were more invested in Zay, who isn't ready to retire. All three of us are probably within the character's age. So we get, you still want to hold on to this, but your body's just not going to be there for it. And I thought it,
yeah.
But, and then when they introduced that each of their quarterbacks, like, the blood has been put in them, give me more of, like, okay, so it was okay.
It started
so
getting interesting, then it just took it away from
yeah.
us.
So all right, I get it now.
Was the blood the devil?
No, it was, as they said, it basically they just kept inject, like, so
But they were
if Cam
cults,
would have
then
signed,
who the fuck are
it
they
would've-
worshiping?
oh, it's the devil. You're making a deal with the devil. I mean, there's no.
See, okay, hold on. This is interesting now, because I was under the impression that blood was not, it was not human.
It was no.
Because that's how you get healed so quickly.
No, Cam was getting injected. So the reason that all the quarterbacks have been good is because they pick the best, and then they just keep infusing the blood
That's
of the
even
best.
worse. Oh,
I know, I
Jesus
get
Christ,
that.
I'm gonna have to lower my score even more.
Well,
No.
and then wait,
The
and then the
fuck?
other part is that when they're all sitting there before they ask him to make his contract, that was Isaiah's blood that they were all drank from. So then when you saw Cam go like this, all of a sudden Zay goes, I was like, oh, so they just basically sucked out, like, all of them drank his essence. I mean, is that really what happened? Like, it was just you involve the supernatural, you involve the occult, like basically it's it's signing a deal with the devil. I mean, basically, I mean, it's that. And what are you willing to sacrifice? And it just, everything was all over. And again, hate to just jump on this, the fucking eyebrows were too distracting in the movie. The character would have been better if she looked differently, if she would have looked like, the way Cameron Diaz did on Any Given Sunday. If you would have made, the wife or somebody who runs the team or works with the team just look normal, you wouldn't have suspected it. But because how she looked and how she acted, you already knew she was involved in the whole thing. And then, they give her the part where she's trying to get him to sign it and he won't sign it. And she gets up and goes, "You guys can't do anything. I'm gonna." And yeah, Rick, all of a sudden she stabs herself.
Yeah.
Well, why? Why did she just stab herself?
She
Like
fell.
she, what is that? What it was?
Yeah, she tripped.
fell.
I thought
Got
she
up
just.
as a trick.
Oh,
She fell.
She
I
fell.
literally thought, okay, so I missed the
Bro,
trip part
Her
because
skin
I
was
was
whiter
like,
than my T-shirt, man. And why did they make her look like? I
I'll
mean,
be
I know
honest.
she's supposed to be.
At first, I thought it was Lady Gaga.
No, you know who I thought? Oh man, I thought it was Yeah, continue.
Sensori, something
I
Sensori
forgot
is
her name.
Kanye West's girl.
Well, not his
Um,
girlfriend, but I thought they had some kind of I don't know. Anyway, who cares?
But yeah, I mean, it was
Oh,
honestly
they were going
it-
for that Maya Goth look. That Mia Goth look.
Yeah.
I think that's what they
yeah.
were going. At first, I swear to you, that's what it was. Like Mia Goth is in this movie. Oh wait, that's not her. What the who is this?
But yeah, this movie was a whole lot of fumbles, a whole lot of interceptions, a whole lot of incompletions. I mean,
Give us one more, Joe. Give us one more. Come on.
I was trying. I don't know if I have one
Oh,
more.
come on,
But
Joe.
there's a bunch of penalties, man.
There's a bunch
A lot of red
penalties.
flags.
a lot of red
Yeah,
flags. Like,
yeah.
oh my god, a lot. Look, the red flags were being like when you're sitting in the theater, one lands on your face. That's how.
My,
and
my
it
man was
sucks.
like seeing all this weird, random. He even said I'm seeing things, bro. Like what the fuck?
Well, and that would kind of come from a concussion and the injury that he had. But again, like JR said, this would have been. He would have been. Listen, he would have been in rehab easily
lot of metaphors
6 to 9
too,
months,
with
and then you
yeah.
had to then pass physical, and you might have had to have 2 physicals, like get the clear, to even then at that point the team consider you, and by then somebody else would have came up. So for him to just, all right, so
Well,
you have one more chance.
But the one chance I'm assuming wasn't like the week after. I'm assuming that was like much later. But they never gave us like an actual time.
They-
frame.
you don't
have no
Because they moved
timeline.
in
You
his
don't-
head.
No,
He
because
still
the
had the
fact that
staples, so it wasn't
no,
that
but
long.
the fact that all the blood they were giving him, his skull was healing the whole time. So every time they kept showing the highlight, his skull was healing. So they were
Yep,
hoping
yes.
by the time he's done with the camp, he's fully healed.
And,
then
but
he
they
could
did
play
it
it.
to him. That's the fucked up shit. Just to get him out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
combine.
And yeah, and that's the other, like, it's, and the thing is,
you gotta concuss him that bad to get him out. Find another way. I don't know. Kidnap his mom or something. I don't know.
but that was a cool scene. However, as soon as it happened, I was like, all right, so either Isaiah or a team is involved in it. And it, and when they make the reveal, I'm like, okay, I figured that out the minute you hit him. So
Unfortunately,
it wasn't a
this is-
big shock for me.
This is one of those films where I watched the trailer. I didn't think we were gonna do this movie, so I watched the trailer. So I knew already that Isaiah was not who he was portraying. I know he was the antagonist.
Oh yeah, I mean totally. But and again, if you have, listen, Marlon, he's been always put
was great in
in
this one. He was
comedic
really good.
roles. If you have not seen Requiem for a Dream, like it, and I watched an interview where Marlon and Tyriq were together, and they brought up the movie, and he even said it. He's like, I want like drama. I want I always like it, the guy is a good actor. Like he was very imposing, and then because I don't know if it was the actor or just the way that he was, but in the moments where he became imposing and then all of a sudden like, nah man, I'm just kidding.
He had a
that's
good
that
on and off switch, and he knew
Yes.
exactly how to hit it.
and we've all I know I have. I'm kind of myself like that. But there's people who like all of a sudden they scare you, and then I'm like, no man, don't be scared. It's all good. We're friends. And you're like, dude, you just scared me, but okay, yeah, we're friends. And it just, the actor, Tyriq, I think JR was the one who said it. One of you guys said it, that
What?
Marlon overshadowed him. The movie was about the young guy overshadowing the GOAT, and Marlon's, if somebody else would have been in this movie, it wouldn't have been Marlon. I don't know if the movie would have worked. Like that is probably the strongest point I would give to the movie, because everything else actually, and I did like Jim Jeffries. I watched the show on FX with him. I've actually seen his stand-up comedies, and to see him serious, and he was another part. Actually, he was really good in it too, because he was giving you the dude. I sold my own soul for this, and I'm not even a football player.
I
And
have
this
no
is what
kids.
it's done. Yes, this is what it's done to my life. And then, and when he goes, run, I thought of, the same thing, Get Out, when the guy goes, get out.
Yeah.
Like it was another little nod to Jordan in there. But yeah, dude, like this movie, yeah, it got sacked. There's my last one on that one.
You
All
were
right.
holding that one, weren't you?
No, it just came to my head, to be quite honest with you. Let's see if you have any more comments, and then we'll go around to our last thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think we're about wrapped up with that. We got Adam here. Adam says, and don't you have to be compatible blood types? Makes you wonder about Brady too. So yes, everyone has different blood types. You got to be compatible in order to receive blood transfusions. P-Rock says, so as a sports fan and horror fan, is this a skip and wait for it to be viewed on HBO Max? I'll let these two guys answer that.
Yes,
They're the
yes. Wait for it to
Skip
be wait for it to be free. Watch it, just so that way you can also give it your, because again, it's all our own thoughts. You got to give your own thoughts.
Roughing the pass.
We're like roughing the audience, man.
It was funny when we saw the movie. Me and JR bought separate tickets. I always get the back, and I asked JR, yo, what seat are you? Just so you probably sit close, but I was like, all right, you know what? He's not answering. And I saw a seat in the middle was taken. So I'm not taking that because I know there's always people talking around that section. So I'm gonna get the corner. He ended up getting the complete opposite corner. So both ends. JR's on that end. I'm in the other.
Did y'all talk to each other?
No, we couldn't. Hey. JR, what's up with? I know there was a crew right by you, right in front of you, talking, like making a lot of noise.
It was a
Were
couple,
they bothering you?
man. It was a.
I heard it from where I was at. That's why I don't sit by those areas, bro. I sit.
Yeah, there was a couple, and for some reason, like,
Look at Joe's not listening. Good job.
like the dude was hungry all the time. So every time she went to get up, she went to go get up more food. I'm like, how much more food could you eat?
That's how bad they were into the movie.
Oh my god, man! The dude's just sitting there the whole time, and yeah, I was like, Jesus.
Oh, the movie theater experience, man. I love it, but it's a double-edged sword, man.
It wasn't too bad though compared to the
No, the crowd was fine. No, it was the worst one I experienced. But one of the more later, which one was it? I know when I saw Superman, it was so tight in there because it was so packed, and I had to sit in between people because I was by myself. The guy next to me wasn't making noise, but he was on his phone. Like he was texting me. You see the light kept flashing, turning on. I'm looking. I'm like, all right, well, let me look at this conversation. He's right, fuck there. Might as well. Jesus Christ.
You know what's crazy though, from what I've noticed and from my movie experience, that since we've been going back to the movies to
Megan was
to
bad.
review them, is it's pretty accurate when you go into the theater, and depending on how packed the theater is, whether or not it's going to be a good movie, it's hit exactly on the money. Every time I've gone, that the movies that there's less people there, and we review them, are always been. No, I've been to a lot of them where they've been packed. Dude.
Weapons was pretty packed.
Weapons was packed.
I think Weapons was packed for
Weapons was packed. Bring Her Back was packed. So there was a lot of them that have been packed. But then the ones that we reviewed that we're not fans of, I go in, I'm sitting there like, fuck, man, am I going to be? I knew you bought a ticket. I knew there was that one person in the middle, and whoever sat all the way in the front row.
It's funny because the icons for the seats that were taken were footballs.
Yeah.
So there was one right all the way in the very first row. Yeah. So you're sitting like this.
Well, and I forgot. I don't know if it was for this one or the last one that we saw, but the guy in front of us, even through the trailers, kept getting on his phone, and it wasn't all right. So he wasn't like this on his phone. He was like this.
Oh,
so the light's hitting me, and I'm like, all right, it's just the trailers. It's just the trailers. And then the movie starts. He's still on his phone, and I'm on my screen going flashlight, because what I was gonna do was turn on the flashlight on him and go, I'm sorry, is my light bothering your light? My bad. But yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no.
You know what's funny though? Like I actually fell asleep throughout the trailers. So I sat there. I'm like, fucking trailer start. I end up passing out.
So, hello,
and I woke
Frida.
up just when the movie started.
Yeah, they gave I didn't watch them. I closed my eyes through what was it? I forgot what it was already. Oh, the Anaconda movie.
I'm actually interested in it now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
Huh?
I'm not gonna lie. You gonna see it?
You're gonna see it?
Yeah. The way
I like the premise of it.
Yes. And completely. I thought it was.
But
going
it's once
to be
again
just...
Paul Rudd playing himself, man. I mean, I like Paul Rudd. I do.
There's nothing wrong.
I know.
Paul Rudd plays you.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd plays how you would react. Like So I'm sure you all you saw the trailer too.
I saw a trailer for that one.
So yeah, but he's like, I'm
No,
coming
I didn't see
to
the
you.
trailer though. I
Oh, you didn't see it?
have
Alright.
my eyes closed.
All right, so
You can say it. You can say it.
all right, so he's like paddling. He's like, I'm coming to you, and then the anaconda grabs her. He goes, oh, and I'm like, dude, that's how you would react when you would see a giant anaconda just snap your friend. No, I thought honestly,
You know what?
I didn't
what
think
trailers? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't think that I had no interest in it until I saw.
Yeah.
It would be, listen, it would be like the three of us wanted to. All right, it would be like the
it'd
three
be
of us
us trying
wanted
to remake
the
Blair
Texas
Witch
Chainsaw-
Project. No,
I was
Blair
gonna go
Witch
Texas.
Project.
Either way, but something remake something, and it turns out that we now get fucked in this situation because we tried to complete this movie. But-
It's an interesting concept, but why?
It
From
is.
all movies, Anaconda. I mean, I love
That's the one you least
Anaconda.
expect.
Because
That's
everyone
why, though.
loves Anaconda. You just
Yeah.
said it. Everyone.
Yeah, but it's
Anaconda
not like
is
this.
not the
it's-
greatest
it's
movie.
It's such a niche film. Like,
But
you know what I mean?
everyone loves that movie for that reason because hello, Jennifer Lopez, John Boyd, you got
Eric
Ice
Stoltz,
Cube,
man.
Eric Stoltz,
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson, and
My boy, I forgot his
Megan-
name. My boy from Titanic. I forgot his name though, but he was in it. The dude, the guy who the asshole that was in it. That he jumped and the snake caught him and ate him. I forgot his name.
Oh,
He's like a lawyer
I
or
forget his
something in
name.
that
Yeah, I
movie.
forget his name. But and then
Jonathan something, Jonathan
Megan
something.
something is the other girl, the one that
Oh
falls
yeah,
off.
she's fine, bro.
So,
Yeah.
I
She
also
was
Yeah,
fine,
no,
bro.
no.
I
Bro,
wanted
that
J-Lo
movie
to
had a
get
great
killed.
cast.
So why did you kill her off, man? Kill J-Lo off.
Nah, J-Lo was fine. Ice Cube was the man in that movie,
Hey,
though. Ice Cube.
Hey, leave J Lo alone. All right, but Rick, go ahead and give us your last thoughts here and your score.
Sure. Yeah. Man. I just again. I didn't go in with high expectations. Again, it's the concept isn't like I'm not a football fan, but I did like the sports aspect of it. You don't gotta be a football fan to enjoy this movie, not at all. But what I really wanted in this, and GR articulated much better than I tried to, was the fact that there was no football being played, no football games, no pressure, no stadiums, no fans, none of that. It was all just taking place in this facility out in the middle of fucking nowhere in the desert.
One
And
week.
then they got, in 1 week.
One
and then
week.
1 week, and then you had. That's right, because the movie did take place within 7 days. Every day. it
Chapters.
counted
Yeah,
down.
I did like
Yeah.
the chapter part. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's cool. Yeah. So, but then it introduces weird plot points that to me don't go nowhere, like that cult. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, and they just randomly appeared. How the hell did they get inside? Where's the security in this place? You got the biggest football star imaginable in this fucking place, right?
You had to be
How
driven
did-
in.
Whatever, but yeah, it had potential. And again, I think this movie was carried. Yeah, Marlon Wayans carried this film as Zayd. He was a very, very fascinating character. If it wasn't for him, this would have been a complete dud. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
All right.
It was higher, but then once, you told me that it was just, ritual blood, no devil blood. I'm like, come on, man. At least make it like give us some
You know?
fantasy elements, because the movie was already like, I don't know, but yeah, it's a 3. Not terrible. It's not a terrible film. Just kind of boring, and I think the lead character dragged it down, but Marlon Wayans as they picked it up.
Well, but I will say that Adam brought up that good point because, as I said, all the quarterbacks have given their blood. You still have to make sure that that blood's going to be able to get passed on. So yeah, another plot hole in a fucking huge plot hole movie. JR.
No, because with the blood, they mess around with the plasma a bit, so that's why they kind of freshen it up and make it more unique. 'Cause he mentioned,
and that's why
there
he
was
had to.
he mentioned plasma at one time throughout the film, so they messed around with the blood. So
Again,
basically,
how does it give you healing powers to that effect? Though, if it's
because that
not
person
manufactured in any
sacrificed.
way?
Yeah, because that
Yeah,
person
yeah,
sacrificed the previous goat sacrificed their life, so
Yep.
then they drained the blood from that goat and they put it into they mix it
Next.
in with the next goat's
By
blood.
the way, that was the original title of this film.
Goat. Yes,
Goat.
that it was supposed to be goat.
It would have been 2 on the nose though, right? See, goat and
I would have
demons,
actually. I
devil,
would have. I would have gone with goat.
No, I like him. I like
Because
him.
when you
It's,
think
but
when you
him
think of
is-
sacrificing though, you think of a goat.
yeah, but
goat
him
is
is going to
sacrifice.
bring in this younger audience now. 'cause
Yes, that's where that.
that's their term now. That's what they be going with. So I like it. I like the title.
No, for me, it's like they should have taken this movie and put it like right in the middle of Any Given Sunday. If you want to see a great football movie, Any Given Sunday, because if
Bring
you
Jamie
did
Foxx
that,
back.
if you did the Any Given Sunday, put it into that environment, and then
Would've
put
been
the
great.
injury, and then put the
Yes.
fact that he is because not for you, we didn't know he was the GOAT yet, really, because he actually won majority of those titles after the injury. So he sold his soul right after the injury, basically. So
Yeah.
if the movie
Yep.
would have happened more like
Who was the GOAT before that? Then there's always a GOAT.
Yeah,
he mentioned it.
there was like when he was talking, there was like 2 other jerseys, 2
Yeah.
or 3. I don't know
There's
the
a whole
exact number.
shitload of them.
Yeah, bro. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
This
The
went
the
back.
blood has been taken from the previous
Mhm.
one, and the whole goal was they took it from that one, put it into this one, you double it up. You take that one, you triple it up. So you just keep making the blood stronger because this is where they get the power, the
Understood.
ability.
Yeah, so if they would have did that, and they would have did the injury happen, and then he basically they show him sacrificing his, his life, is basically giving up his soul. At that point, I think it would have been more of a movie because you could have actually did that, showed that when he did it, and then fast forward a couple years, and then here comes this kid out of nowhere. So I think the movie would have been better if it would have showed from Isaiah's standpoint because when you guys are talking about how he was like flipping his different personas, I was looking at a guy who's going through depression because the fact that here I am, I gave everything to the game, I gave everything to this team, and you guys are already replacing me, and that's fucked up because
And
I
that's
could
all he
still
had,
play a couple
remember?
more years, and I
Yep.
could play a couple more years. So he wanted
Yep.
to play more, but they're already basically all right. You're gonna play one more year. We're gonna bring this dude in, and then you're gone. So now he's dealing with a certain depression.
He's
Now,
doing what John Cena's doing now.
yeah, but you should have went that route with the story because the Marlon Wayans character, Isaiah, was more of the one you wanted to know more about. You didn't care about Cam because Cam was so hollow. Cam was just your typical
I think they
NFL
hired him just for his
2K
looks,
cover
right? Hey
boy
man,
and
took
shit.
off his shirt. Oh, that's our guy right there.
No, that's
Yeah.
but that goes with this new generation, the
Generation.
new fans where it's all about the the look of the person.
Aesthetic.
cosmetic-
It's,
it's a
it's,
cos-
it's the aesthetic.
Yeah.
It's not the aesthetics.
It's a
It's
cosmetic
not
industry.
what you bring in.
Unfortunately, now it's the sports aspect is second.
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
so I mean, if they would have went that route, it would have been a lot better. It would have been more of a compelling story. There was too many plot holes in this. The whole ending, I'll be honest, I hated the whole ending because I saw no point to it. You already killed one dude. You might as well just fucking sacrifice yourself. Because you have your family to worry about and shit. But now,
I think he wanted to end the whole
The
nonsense
cycle. Yeah.
because he listened to
But-
his dad telling him sacrifices make you a man. And right
Yeah,
when
and
he heard that, he killed
listen,
everybody.
the way he looks in
sacrifice is
jail,
freedom.
he's gonna
he
he's not gonna
like,
be.
fuck it.
And by
You
the
know
way,
what?
let's not forget that he did that with one broken arm. It was the other
Oh,
arm
I
swinging.
forgot about that. Wait a minute. Did he drink blood after that or no?
No,
He drank before,
no,
right?
no. Fucking
Hold on a
Zay,
second.
fucking
How the
Zay
fuck he was
snapped his
swinging?
fucking arm.
I gotta go back and
when
see
he
that.
fought, he had his arm like he tried to.
Well,
act,
all right, but
that's
he
the
was
part.
still favoring the arm at least, right?
Mhm. Yeah,
He would the other arm. So with the broken one, he kind of held it and he used his other one. And I'm still sitting there going, "Bitch, your arm got snapped.
Well, he just got infused with blood,
Adrenaline
though.
can
I'm
go. I know, but it can only go so
I know,
much.
but I'm
That
gonna
shit
chalk it up to that.
and the way it got snapped, that shit would have hung. He's like still holding it like this, and then he's swinging like old boy. Yeah, no.
no. If
Sorry,
anything,
Jared.
he should do in Vin Diesel and fucking pop that shit back into play because that would have been more believable. Has all this fucking. He just killed the
I saw
chosen
that
one.
dislocated shoulder though, but I ain't going back in place like that.
No, it's his own. How many times have you seen?
Fuck,
Come on, Vin Diesel did that shit in Pitch Black.
That's Vin Diesel though.
But
That
this dude's all
motherfucker-
drugged up. He could pop that shit back into place, man.
No, he snapped his arm. Like it when
Yeah,
he
his
broke his
bones.
arm.
Listen,
Yeah, no.
At the
It
point,
was-
you gotta remember too. You gotta suspend belief at that point.
Adrenaline can
Yeah,
like,
you gotta suspend belief. At
yeah,
that
wrap
point, man.
like pop it back in, wrap it up with that
Yeah, he
sports
could've
tape,
just
and then
stumped
be
it.
like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
The proclivities in this character of Isaiah though, man. I love this character. He was so like I don't know. Anyway, I'm sorry, Joe. Your score.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
man.
It's a 2.5. I'm
My
done.
bad, dude. Okay.
Going
2.5.
sidelines.
2.5 out of 5, so it's average.
All right. Yeah, for me again, like I said, I walked out there so disappointed. I was just like, damn, it's a hard way to infuse horror and sports. You had it. You did have it in there. I'm with JR. we should have seen, instead of giving them the week, it should have been that he ended up actually getting drafted. He was the backup for Isaiah. And every once in a while he went in and you got some sports in there. So you got the injuries. Instead of like balls coming to the face of somebody, like putting them into the actual, like, I know I made that joke. But I just put him in the actual football, because you then giving us a week of this weird ass training that honestly, by day 3, I would have been, bro, I'm out. I don't need to join the team. This shit is fucking weird. Like, you just threw balls at somebody's face and he just stood there and took it. And you wanted, like, I would have been out. Like, the absurdity of the decisions was just too much of the movie. And fuck, like I said, they kind of ruined for somebody else. Actually, you know what? Somebody else make this movie better. Give us a horror movie. Give us where, like I said, the scenes, it made no sense that you kept showing these scenes where a body was being regenerated because after the blood doses, like, where's that leading to? Like, so whose body is being regenerated? Is Isaiah's body being regenerated because they're taking it away from Cam?
Maybe
You
that's
know,
when Cam's getting the blood. All the memories of everybody is like flashing real quick into him.
I mean, and I get that, and I
I don't
think
know.
they
I'm just
get
trying
they
to. I'm
no
just
no
trying to make sense of it.
no, and the thing
Let 'em-
I think they gave that hint when the, I'm gonna call them the cabal and
It's
Cam
called a
drank
cult.
the
It's a
blood.
cult, man. Don't say
Cult.
cabal. Cabal's my guy from Mortal Kombat. You're ruining his
No,
name.
CABAL.
I know that. I know that, but it's still
All right.
cabal.
But either way, like it like
fuck
when I, you know, when Zay sat there and they all drank the blood and he's like like it felt like he was losing part of himself. Like there's so, like,
So
this
what was
movie had
the chain he was pulling out of his fucking throat? Was that real or no? Like,
no, none of it.
but
It's all,
I
yeah, that's
hate
what I'm saying.
films
Like,
that are
it's
so like personalism, bro. It's all over this film, and I hate shit like that.
Yeah.
I
They-
don't like
they were-
stuff that's not really there, but it's there.
it's meant, all the stuff was meant to for a certain story that never actually connected. That's the problem. The ideas never connected. The thought process did not, nothing connected into this movie. You threw so much at us that it was just, yeah.
So nothing
This-
supernatural whatsoever in this film.
I mean, I still kind of feel on the supernatural part that they believed in the
Who spun
they
the
keep.
football like that?
Well, yeah, that's another part. The ball, like, it's just it's just a lot of it was just, yeah. There, I'm hoping somebody can give us another football movie. And actually, JR, give us at any given Sunday in a horror version, like, you know, like that. This movie could have done that, and it didn't. And I'm actually going lower than JR because
Oh, look at Joe.
I'm a 2. I'm a 2 on this one. It was through too many ideas were thrown at us, where I feel that they didn't know how to wrap this up, and the ending was totally for shock value. It was, you put us to sleep for 15, 20, 30 minutes of this movie, and you wanted to wake us up for the end.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because you watched the movie and I saw your text. Is there end credits? I'm like, no. It's Adam goes, is there end credits to this? And I looked it up, and even though I don't use the AI goes, movie's done, you can get up. And I'm like, we can go. And I was ready to fucking go.
It was
And I
funny
had,
because I had texted because I was like, all right, because every time I leave, I've always every fucking movie since we've been doing this, I leave and then I come onto the show and you guys are like, yeah, there was an extra credits. So you know what? I'm gonna ask Joe this time, and you took too long to answer, so I'm out. Whatever. I look.
it was like
I
4
look at
minutes.
GR's already gone, yo. GR been
Yeah,
left.
it's already gone.
GR been left.
No, I mean, it's unfortunate how the movie turned out.
Yeah,
You know,
alright.
it was a lot of things that just were negative.
Yep.
I was not a fan of the Julia Fox character. It made it hokey. Is that a bad word to use? Like the
No,
way that
that's-
she looked, and considering her, that as I would rewatch this again just for what you guys brought up so I can notice, because I did miss that her character, when you had to do portraits, that she was the more emphasized on, that she was the more focused on instead of blurred out on. Because you did already get that, because when she's like, hey, and she's all happy, because in my head I was like, oh, she's totally going to leave Zay and then like hook up with Cam now.
She hooks
But-
up with all of them.
How old is this fucking woman, bro?
Well, you don't know. That's what I'm saying. And you got
See, this
got
is
these
with the
people.
supernatural part. I thought, okay,
Yes.
she's a demon, she's a devil, she's something, because no one looks like that.
I
and
go with the
it's-
deal with the devil. It's a deal with the devil in sports. You
Alright.
make a deal with the devil when you sign on with the team.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything more to say
I'm
on the
good,
movie?
man, I'm good.
Good. All right. So join us next week. Listen, we all hated Strangers Chapter 1.
I'm just gonna say this real quick, Joe. Your team's 1 and 2. Are you gonna be on 2 next week for us going to the movies? Because this one's your pick too.
Hold
Oh,
on, he's
no,
on
I-
2 right
listen.
now? Hold on.
Hold on,
He's
hold
on
on.
two?
I,
Hold on.
Well, he's on
hold
one
on, and
on
I was
this one.
Oh,
wait,
okay, so
wait,
all right,
wait,
got
wait.
you, got you.
I was gonna. I'm addressing that. We all hated the first one. Unfortunately, I am a completionist. At this point, we're gonna do all of them because we all said it. Either we all hated the first one, come up with something different, make us maybe like the first chapter to appreciate the second chapter. This is the only reason we're doing it. Truthfully, I would probably wait for this to release.
They gave this
On
trailer, by
streaming.
the way. I didn't see it though.
But
Don't hate.
I would probably, honestly, after seeing the first one, I would have gone, Adam, we're not going to the movies.
Well,
but
listen, if
we're
it makes you feel
reviewing it.
any...
We're reviewing it. Like this is what we do on our channel.
Yeah, yeah.
So at this point, we're going to do all three of them.
Yep.
I mean, we have no choice on it. So yeah, JR, I'm not walking into this one going, oh, I picked the
I've
best one.
already heard some people who's watched this pre-screen.
Oh, come on. Jared, leave it to Jared to look at early reviews.
It's not look at it. When you scroll on freaking Instagram, you see them real quick.
Oh,
and
there's
like,
there's been listen, the thing is, hold on, but that is all. Everything is all objective, and we might like what they do, we might not. But with
That's
that,
the last thing I wanted to hear. Oh no! Now I'm gonna waste money on a movie that really people complaining about. See, it fucks with my mental. That's why I don't look at reviews.
I
or
know,
nothing.
yeah, I know. I same thing with me. But so before Rick takes us home, on Sunday we are live for Brains and Brews. We are doing Quarantine, and I'm actually looking forward to this one. I know that JR did Rec. Make sure to check out Lost and Found for Rec. But we are doing Quarantine, and Rick, take us home.
Well, everyone, with that being said, stay good, stay healthy, love one another, never meet your hero.